So it is now 10:30 Mountain Standard Time, and I am getting ready to get to crafting my next creation. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, because my kids decided they want to interrupt right as I'm starting, and we're going to get to it. So, Fox, guys, seriously. Kids. I literally just asked him. So, anyway, as we get going, we're going to be recreating this bracelet. So this is one of my originals that I've done. This is one of the things that I've created at the beginning when I started doing these beaded bracelets. And so being my very first original design, if you will, this is kind of like a a prototype, if you will, which evolved into this one. Evolved through a few different designs to becoming this, so it's durable, it lasts forever, and then I can customize these with a sequence of crystals for the awesomeness. So we are going to get started. My kids understood the message. So yeah, this is what I do. Oh, and yesterday, Amelia, she's Intuitive Empath 333 on YouTube. Check out her page. She does really amazing prism light healing stuff. So if you're ready to receive healing, she helps activate that for you. Hey, Danza, welcome. So as I was saying, Amelia on her show, she put out a short yesterday that was talking about the Orthoceras. So that's what this is, an Orthoceras. And so I decided I wanted to wear the one I have today. It's the first time I'm wearing it, and I'm like, we'll wear it. So Orthoceras is basically a fossil, a cephalopod, a mollusk cephalopod, and it's just a fossilized animal, basically. But it's really cool because the energies in this are very deeply rooted to the earth history. Using this can help you access that higher intuition, that universal knowledge, the Akashic wisdom. But also having both the water and earth elements in this particular stone, it can provide a lot of physical healing for the body. So I'm wearing this one today to represent, because she was talking about it, and I love working with them. It's absolutely fun. So Danza, this is what we're doing today. I'm fixing this bracelet. We're going to retie it. This was a first prototype to this one. So this is how it started, and it became this one. But the problem I had with it was the fatigue on the clasp. So I have this clasp here that was wired into it, so it's like a thing, all in one integral piece, and this snapped right off. Just from fatigue, copper, you're bending it a bunch, it can wear out and actually snap. So this design that I have here prevents you from needing to do that, and the fatigue is replaceable. So where it would fatigue, it's like, okay, just a little jump ring, little hook, whatever, easy fix. So the bracelet as a whole, though, is pretty durable. So this was the original design. We revised it to this one. So I'm going to get to snipping some wires away. But yeah, metal fatigue is super annoying sometimes. So I'm going to cut out this middle one here. Okay. We're going to snip all of the middle out so I can just unweave it. And the cool thing about the copper is that even though, you got to redo it all, I can still save my scrap. It's still worth its value in copper, so it's like, cool. And if you're doing any kind of metalworking with soft metals, save your scraps, because it's just as good as money these days. How you doing today, Danza? This wire here. To rock stars. What do you mean rock stars? You mean like musicians rock stars when they get tired? because I have no idea. Everything, all my rock stars that got tired, they randomly and mysteriously committed suicide. Chris Cornell, one of my faves. Metal fatigue. That's funny. So those are my kind of jokes. Okay, so this is the middle part, snipped it off. Now we are going to unwrap it all. So we get these beads out. Okay, first bead. Need a container. Where are my containers? Here we go. We'll just use this one. Take the little insert out. Perfect. Okay. So the bracelet that I designed for this person, this is a channel design, if you will. She really liked the color purple, so I kind of focused it on some frequencies of purple stones that'll work well for her. So on this bracelet, we added charoite right in the middle, which is a really beautiful like purple stone. It's kind of marbled. Let me show it here. You can see how it's kind of marbled. I don't know, my light sucks right now. Sun's not on my side of the apartment. But charoite's a pretty rare stone, which makes it really expensive, but it's super cool for your intuition, your higher self, connecting to your divine sources, your soul family. And then I also added purple lepidolite. Hi Carrie, how are you doing? So glad you made it. So charoite is this first purple one. And it's like marbled like tiger's eye. Let me move my light here so you can see. Like the camera angles. I don't know. I'm trying. Sunlight, so much better. So it's like a marbled purple and black stone, which is absolutely amazing. And then we've got lepidolite, which is the lithium type stone. Let's see, I have a purple lepidolite, so this is how it comes in its natural state, or lepidolite, and it can be polished up into these really cool purple crystals. Being a very soft one, for your nervous system, it's very grounding and soothing for it to kind of help calm your nerves, which is super beautiful. Oh, cool. Yeah, lepidolite's so cool. I love working with my golden, I call it my golden healer crystal, but it's a golden lepidolite. So it's the same stone, but it's more focused in on the solar plexus, which helps that healing within the body, which is super cool. So broke that all down. Now we're going to wrap it. The other thing I added was some amethyst onto hers, and then some obsidian for the grounding and the negative filtration, so for all of that. So that's what I channeled in for her when I created it, and to be honest, I forgot that I had it. So the person that bought this from me, I used to work with her over at Sputnik. Really sweet lady, really lovely. She's just like one of those bright souls and lights in this world. And supporting my business, she's like, "Ooh, I'd love one." You know, and she's like, "I want purple," and so we just kind of like went off on that. And anyway, so she's locally one of my supporters out here, which is amazing. And she really is quite the most like lovely, high-spirited person. Like no judgment, you know, just total like filled with love. So that's what I designed here for her bracelet. So anyway, sorry, I'm looking for my copper wire. Where are you? I'm looking for my 18 gauge. Hold on, I might need to get some more. got some 16 gauge copper for some wire wrapped bracelets. I got some people wanting wire wrapped. But this was stripped wire that's 18 gauge that my brothers donated. And I like it because it's kind of hard. So it gives copper a little more structure and rigidness. So it's not so pliable, especially for bracelets. So for where the beads are going to go, and the main anchor of everything for the structure of it, it's going to be this really stiff wire. And then I'll use my soft wire to tie everything together. Okay, so we're going to loop this around. Just for now, just to hold it. So I need to straighten it. So I like to use my plastic pliers here, and I just kind of lightly grab it and then I angle it like this. So it's kind of pulling at an angle. I'm going to work it in a few ways to straighten it. And what this does is it pulls out any of those wobbles in your wire when you can just bend it around something. So I'll just do it back and forth a few times just to kind of straighten out those wobbles. Then I'll do like the left and the right. And I use the nylon pliers because it prevents the marring, the scratches they can get on there. So now that's all pretty much straightened out. So now I'll just take it and then use my hands to kind of straighten it out, just so the beads will slide on decently. Okay. Because there's like a little bit of plastic still on them. I can also rub that off. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So it feels like winter again. So funny. So funny how it feels like winter again. Those ones out. Okay. And we're going to just match them. So Carrie, I'm not sure if you saw, I don't even know if you're still here, you said pop in for a bit, but Amelia posted a little short on her YouTube page about the Orthoceras. So I'm wearing one of them today, the one that I created. This one's got amethyst and lapis lazuli in it. So it's kind of tuned for somebody a little more than just the Orthoceras, which is really great earth-rooted stone tied to your root chakra. think with hers, I'm just going to do the 2. She's kind of a smaller lady. And then we're going to keep this one probably about 5 inches. She's kind of rough on her jewelry. So we're going to tweak it just a bit so that in the event that she does catch it on something and damages, it'll break a jump ring that's attaching everything, which is an easy fix. So taking that into account with the design. Okay, let's straighten all these out. So I was going to do this bracelet last night, but my little one insisted that I went out and watched play games and play and interact. So while we were watching a show, I just grabbed a different rock and wrapped a little pendant. And the pendant I wrapped last night is called Fancy Ruby. Definitely got a bit of dragon energy in it. It's really cool, the contrast of ruby and like almost a zoazite color. It's not zoazite, it's softer. So you can see here rubies all in through this, and it's a soft stone. It's not, so zoazite's kind of hard. I think on its Mohs scale it's like a 7, and this stone is much softer than that. So I actually scratched up the edge of it with my pliers. I was like, what? That's crazy. So they call it Fancy Ruby. And those are actual ruby clusters that are on there. But these ones are cool, and I like them because they have a little smooth spot on the back that you can use for meditation. You can rub to activate. So I like doing these ones, the little massagers on the back. So just to rub. For instance, like this is my copper one I use a lot. You can see it gets worn. But I use this copper one to energize my body in a little bit, which is super cool. Was going to wear this one today. This is one of my first bulletproof ones I made. I wanted to make one that you could wear every day and show the quality and craftsmanship. And this particular one is just all copper. And the only damage I've had over the years of abuse with this is literally where the wire weave here, where the lace went through. It wore out the wire stitch, so I had to go and cut and trim it back. But that's the only thing on this. This thing has been through hell and back. It's been through everything, and it is bulletproof. So I just made a pendant that I wanted to show my craftsmanship, that it can go through the testament of time, doing physical labor, like, because that's what I did. And yeah, it's amazing. You can see scratches that this sheet metal etched into it. Like, you can see all the damage I've done to it, and it still looks beautiful just the way it is. So that's kind of like what that one was for me. But it's all copper. I love working with copper. It's my favorite. Okay, so we are going to put all of these to the same edge. Okay. I need to get a vise, a little small tabletop vise. That way I can hold all these for this. Make my job, my life so much easier. Okay, so the round one is going to go in the middle, and then I've got my square ones on the outside. Okay, we're going to just basically stitch these together. So I'm going to use my pliers here and grip down as firmly as I can just to get these started. We're going to keep our sequence and flow the same way. So I'm going to come over. This one's going to go under the middle. So we're wrapping around that middle wire. So that it locks in the beads. Put that one around. I'm going to remove this. keeps catching on my other wires on my table. There we go. Okay. And this one's going to go over. Okay. Like so. Okay. This one's going to go over. This one's going to go under. Okay. So, couple more twists. Let's step back from the table for a second. Okay, perfect. It's now locked into there. I just need him to get wrapped first because I'm going to back him off when we're done so it evens it out. I'm going to drop the pliers. Great. This big dog. My husky, it's an endless chore cleaning up his fur. It always accumulates in every freaking corner of my place. It's so funny. Okay, so we're going to be following a pattern. It's just kind of like an over and under kind of pattern. Yeah, cats too. Okay. So we're going to pull this, loop around, and we're going to come up and over the top and back around. Okay, so it's going to lock that there. And this one, again, is going to go over the top. Okay, back around. And this one's going to go over the top. Just repeat with the two. I'm only going to do this for about a half an inch before I start locking in my beads. Okay, so half inch there. Crimp these down. So as you can see, pattern there. So now we're going to add our first bead. Again, I'm just going to arrange it in the same design because that flow, the way they were connected, was ideal for her meridians on her wrist. So that's the way we're going to do it. Okay. Okay. So our first set there. Okay. So as you can see, got it cinched into there. We're going to do our next one, which was amethyst. So this is the energy charger next to the grounder. Okay. I think that's going to go underneath. Okay. That's why it's funky. Okay. Pinch that through. Straighten out. Take this. Pinch that through. This one is going to go, okay, like that. And this one's going to go around like that. Okay. Alrighty. So, crimp that down like so. So as you can see, that's what we've got going on here. Locking those in. Oh, thank you. So I'm listening to Native American wood flute, the shamanic journey type music. So this playlist I actually use for my astral travels when I'm actually doing a conscious astral travel. So I go really deep in with my breathing, and then, well, it's like an OBE basically, out of body experience. So I use this kind of music because it's so grounding to the earth. It feels that subtle drum just kind of keeps the heart beating just right, keeps you remember feeling that you're here in the body while you're exploring the universe. It's crazy. So I love it. But when I'm in my astral, a lot of times I just go to my astral world that my oversoul's been creating for who knows how long. But it's so beautiful there. Get to play with my dragons, get to play with my minotaurs, my little bears, my bear family there that have been following me all through my incarnations. It's just a beautiful to be able to do the spiritual things, you know. And people always they like to give their power away to like VR, and I'm just like, but you can achieve this on your own without a headset. It's so much cooler. So it's, you know, like VR is a way to get people to escape their reality. Sure, love the movie Ready Player One, the concept of it, but we can already do this through meditation. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times it feels more real than this reality. You know, and that's why it's like you got to be careful, because people can get really attached to outside here. And the whole point of this living is to live this life. But when I can see the energy and frequencies and things around me now, it's like I want to bring that here. How do I do that? So I start with my creations. I start getting people to just start feeling love. Because truly, this world is so colorful and magical. I love being here. But my body obviously becomes fatigued. And so it's got to rest. And so I do a lot of that astral work and exploration when my body is like, nope, we're not doing things today. Yeah, we're here to learn, and it's beautiful. And we're meant to experience it all too. The good, the bad, the misery, the joy, the laughter, the cries. Like, we're meant to experience all of those things in this life. We came here to learn. Like, that's really, like you said, Danza, we came here to learn. We came here to learn. And I think I'm just at that point in my life where I'm ready to learn how to elevate like the Ascended Masters. You know, we're at a time where more and more people get to do this. And it's wonderful when you just start realizing the truth to your real potential, your real powers. It's liberating. So right here we have the obsidian, amethyst, lepidolite, and then the charoite. And then we're going to do 3 char white in the middle. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. I've lived several lifetimes in this time frame of the natives, the peace and harmony on the Americas. And one of those incarnations was a shamanic crystal healer and plant healer. So I was a shaman medicine man, basically. I don't remember the tribe. It's one of those that they deleted from history. I don't remember the name of it, but it's not the ones that they kept in the history books, I tell you that. It's different. But my purpose was to keep balance between man, animals, and nature. So it's just realizing that that's part of the reason why I'm so attracted to crystals and why I see things the way I do comes a lot from that ancestral lineage of my soul journey. Just amazing and wonderful. Perhaps that's why the mushroom beings keep coming to me in my dreams. I don't know. I was dreaming about them last night. It was hilarious. They're so funny. You guys remember that movie, Indian in a Cupboard? This music always reminds me of that imagination I had that I could put my toys in a cupboard and they'd be animated. Just so cool. Still fascinated with that. But he also learned a very valuable lesson as a boy from the toys, which was just amazing. It's like, well, you can't do that. You can't just choose these things for people. They have their own choices. And the boy had to learn a hard lesson because somebody died. Okay. So we got this one here. Okay, the next one is the amethyst. Okay. Anyway, before I left Sputnik, it broke on her, and I said, yeah, I'll do that for you. Well, I put it in my backpack, because that's what I took to Sputnik to carry my stuff. So I put it in there. Well, when we went on our break, I had planned a trip. So I took it to Utah with me in my backpack, so I could work on it there when I did my holiday trip at the end of the year last year. Well, so I had this notebook that fit perfect on the bottom of my backpack, and I just left it there because it gave the bottom of it support to keep so it would stand up properly. Well, the bracelet worked itself underneath there, and I spent months looking for it. I'm like, where the heck did I put this bracelet? I was just like frustrated. Couldn't find it. Well, because I didn't have it on my work table, months went by and I forgot that I had even had it. And I feel so bad, but luckily she's very understanding. But it wasn't intentional. But it's like I was throwing that backpack away because I'm like getting ready to pack my stuff up and move, downsize, etc. So I was going to throw that backpack away. And then I found it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to do this ASAP. So here we are, doing this bracelet months later. Oh, so funny. But I also did tell her that I would just, because of my design flaw, I was just going to rewrap it for no charge. Copper doesn't. So we got all the beads rewrapped, as you can see now. Let's turn my light over here so you can actually see the beads. That's the bracelet design. I don't know if you can see that purple there, but yeah, that's what we have here. So I've got our beads set up. Now we just got to find how to do with this. And then we're going to button up my edge here to match this side here. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. All right, so we're going to squish that one together. Okay. So you can see my pattern there. That's what we're doing. And that'll lock up our ends here. This one I had twisted. We're going to undo those so I can fix them, because getting it started is a bitch and a half, if you ask me. So instead of pulling, I roll it off. That way it doesn't like unravel itself on you. Oh, that's very interesting. Dancing shadow. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, a ring vise would help there. Most certainly. Yeah, I need to get some more tools. But it just comes as it comes. That's my biggest thing, is like, well, you know, because oftentimes you get these custom requests, and sometimes I got to make investment for my pieces so I can make sure that they get what they get. So it always works itself out, but bandaging everything, it's like my tools are just like, I got to set some aside until I can get the tool. So that's what I'm doing. So I needed a Dremel. That was my first one. So I got this whole big gold kit with everything I needed. The next one is going to be some camera gear, so the tripod and stuff to get better footage, because I have my cameras. I just need to get it all set up and arranged in the studio so I can get a bird's eye view going at the same time that I'm doing, my face ones. Swap meets? Nope, we're too small town. But we do have a lot of whatchamacallits, Goodwills or whatever, that they, oh man, it's crazy how much product goes through those stores. Yeah, we get a lot of that. So it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's the vibe. Deters me away. So when I say that I make investments, like I have a lady looking for Larimar, so I had to go buy some Larimar. I had somebody looking for turquoise, so I had to go and buy some turquoise, which these are not cheap. But I got white buffalo turquoise with pyrite and purple turquoise with pyrite. If I can show them here. Let's bring my light down. So I got purple turquoise, pyrite. Yeah, you're right. I should just go buy it. I don't know why I resist getting my tools. Because my mind's always like, just work with what you got. So anyway, but someone's calling for a white buffalo turquoise. That's why I picked it up. And that purple one with pyrite. Because I've been talking about pyrite a lot, so someone's going to be asking. So it's like, my intuition says, you need this. I'm like, okay, I'll go get it. That's how it goes. So like my intuition kind of guides me when I get stuff. It's just like, hey, you need this right now. But yeah, so after I get situated in my house and actually get my shop set up, because now I'll have more space to put my studio, so it's not my bedroom. Yeah, I don't have a Harbor Freight, so I'll have to make a visit when I go to Utah. Pocatello is not that big of a town. They might have one. I don't know. I haven't seen one. Anyway. But yeah, I need to. Once I get situated in my house, my studio, I'll know exactly how I'm going to be able to arrange it. Because some of those things I want to have like anchored on a table, so they're just, that's permanently there. Which I have the table for that. I just need to actually make it happen. So it's just like, but yeah, these 16 gauge copper bracelets, I'll be doing a bunch of these. I need a vise for these because these are stiffish. Like they're stiff. So I'll have to like force, use, anyway. You get it. You do the really durable jump rings. They're stiff as shit. All right, so we need to attach all of this. And then we're going to do the tensor coil around it. I'm almost curious. Oh, that is genius. Like a big washer, wing nut, and just, that's amazing. That's clever. I'm going to do it. Because like some of my wire is really small. I don't necessarily need a vise. But I didn't even think about it. 2 wide washers on the table, wing nuts, smash it down, and then just work off my table edge. Yeah, clever. I like it. But I do want a vise, though, to hold things also while I'm doing stuff. Just trying to, yeah, okay. We're just going to trim all that off. I'll find a use for that later. Okay. So let's trim this down. that. We're going to add a tensor coil to wrap around that, and that's going to strengthen this. So it goes from 1 to 3, and then we'll make our loops around to make our jump rings, and then that way I can get the size just perfect for her so she's not fidgeting her bracelet. That was the thing, is it was just slightly too big for her, and because she would fidget with it, it would fatigued it. So we're going to make it to where it's a perfect fit, so there's no fidgeting. Because like my cuff bracelet, since it fits just like perfect, I don't really fidget with it at all. It just kind of just stays there because it's not like leather or anything. Like your skin doesn't really sweat. It feels comfortable. It doesn't. Anyway, that's why I like them. But they do fatigue because of the copper, and that's okay. It is one of those soft metals. So as an architect of what I do, try to work around the limitations. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been fascinated with Native American everything. I was attracted to it. It was just like all I wanted was Native American. And school taught me about how the white man slaughtered them because we were hostile. The natives were hostiles. No, didn't work that way. White man came in and took their land. And then they rewrote history and said, look what they did to us. We discovered this territory. I'm like, no, you didn't discover it. You took it. The story of Mount Rushmore, how the faces got put on the face of that mountain, is really messed up. You want to see how messed up humans are? They came over and conquered this area. Look at Mount Rushmore story. That one's going to blow your mind. History like to tell us that, oh, Mount Rushmore was a commemoration of the greatest man of our country, blah, blah, blah. When rather it was a mockery of the people who inhabited that land. It's just sad. Yeah, okay, so I guess we brainstormed and made our own little wire vise for this. Drill a hole in your table, put in that 2 big giant washers and a turn screw, and there you go. There's your table vise. Boom, for jewelry stuff. So clever. That's how my mind works. I'm just always thinking about how to make things efficient and easy. You working with what I got. I love, like as a chef, that's kind of what made me set apart from most chefs, is that I could just look at what I had to work with, and then I would make something with it, and it would become amazing. So it's like those shows where they get the basket of stuff, random ingredients, they don't even know what they're doing sometimes, and yeah, that's what I mean. And then they got to create something from nothing and make it delicious. So they got to use this ingredient in all, like a 3-course meal or whatever. Like that's how I like to cook. And I do it all the time, even in my house. It's like I don't want to go grocery shopping, and I'm like, but I'm hungry, so I'm looking at my house and I'm like, I guess I'll just mix this, and this together, and we'll call it dinner. But it always turns out amazing. I don't know what I make half the time, but it tastes good. A lot of times it's like leftovers and random vegetables, because I'm like, I don't want to go shopping. I hate going to the grocery store. It's my least favorite thing, going to grocery stores. It's so expensive. The people are usually low vibe. Okay, so we're going to do a double tensor coil. Oh, I need some more raw 20 gauge copper. I use this dead soft 20 gauge for my chain link. I do chain link, copper chain links. It's so nice to work with. Getting low. Turn my income around so I can get nice so much copper. The copper I need. My higher self keeps telling me though, just work with what you got. Just work with what you got. You got what you need. Don't do that. Okay. 2. So we're going to do an 11-11 sequence for this lady because of her soul energy is just so bright and colorful. So it is 11 coils around one wire, and then I'll loop it, the second wire, with 2. So it looks like an 11. I'll show you. So 3, 4. Okay, so if it'll line up, yeah, this new place that I'm going to be moving into has got a lot better lighting. So that's what that looks like. So it's 11 coils, then 2 loops, and then another 11 coils, and then we'll repeat the pattern. So that's my tensor coil pattern for this. That's how we're just going to do it. That's what I mean by 11-11 sequence. Eleven coils, and then the number 11. 11 coils, number 11. 11, and then back to our coils. So I found with the weaves, when you're working with your energy for the metaphysical quantum healing stuff, when you get into that rhythm of say 369, 369, 369 in your mind, that pattern, it becomes this rhythm. It's like you're breathing it. And what happens when you're working with your Reiki in that sequence is you're actually working at that frequency of energy coming through your body. So as I'm using 1111, I'm actually, because I'm consciously thinking about that frequency, 1111, it creates that rhythm of channeling that frequency into what you're creating, which is quite fascinating. So silly. So periodically, when you're doing these coil seats with your weaves, you get to a certain length, make sure you're crimping them, pressing them together, and that gives the consistency with what you're working with here. So you can see that. Hey, it's King of Wands. Welcome. Welcome. Yep, so today we started out with an old blueprinted one that didn't work out so well. It was fatigued and damaged. And this is my redesigned one, so we're redoing it. I'm working on the tensor coil for it so we can attach it, and then we'll make our finished bracelet once it's done. So this lady, she's kind of rough on her jewelry, so I am redesigning it to be more durable for her. And I'm also going to make sure it's a perfect fit so that she's at least not very inclined to mess with it, which is part of the reason why the copper had fatigued. So just getting in my trance here. And King of Wands, your talisman, I got this bracelet and one more to do, and then yours is up. So these bracelets don't take me quite very long. That's why I like this design. But I should be getting started on yours pretty quick, which I'm super excited for. Your Dragon and Phoenix energy is incredible. Just so I can show you. So here is the shine of that labradorite. If you want to actually see that. So this thing has some really powerful flash in it, with a very unique grounding site on this side. Lots of iron back here from the hematite. There's hematite on this one. So that's yours. We are pairing it with the red jasper and the green aventurine, which is going to be super cool. I'm still meditating with the flow because I like to see how the flow goes for everything. But yeah, it'll be like a kind of a masculine piece, but it'll have a balancing frequency of both the masculine and feminine. Hi, what's up, little girl? Nice, you got your slinkies, huh? I can't play with those right now. Fox, he's like, I want attention too, but I can't play. I already told you guys, I'm doing a live creation today. Yeah.
It's been an hour long.
You're right, it has been an hour long. We are about done.
Hurry up and speed it.
And when I do these, I have to finish them once I start. You're so funny.
And hurry up.
Well, believe me, I'm working at a pretty swift rate today. You're so funny. Told her we'd go to the park today because it's really nice, so I gotta get this going. But it's really cold today, so it's like we have to wait for it to warm up a bit. But it's blue skies today, lots of sun, so I imagine it'll be pretty warm. The sunlight was warm when we took the dog out this morning to do his morning rituals.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Please, just keep it.
Okay.
Daddy, when
Okay.
It's just like this.
You guys are so funny. I don't know what to I don't know what to tell you. It's what it's like having siblings, bro.
We're still siblings.
We all just play with each other, and we all love each other. Yeah, we do.
Dad, what is
Yes,
he
we
saying?
do. He just likes being by himself. Yeah. But we're a family, so he's got to get used to it.
Yeah, because he always likes when I hang him.
We're a
with
4-wolf pack. You're so funny.
This is what siblings do.
Oh, you're so funny, Fox. I'm just gonna have to ignore you, bro. I already explained to you.
You always ask for attention.
We are gonna go outside. We are gonna go outside.
Yeah, we're gonna take a list.
Later. No. Oh my gosh. Later, dude.
Later.
It's so funny. Okay, I need you guys to leave. That means you, Fox. That means you, Fox. So funny. See what I mean? He argues with me like my teenager. Oh, my dog. It's so funny. Love you too, baby girl. But for realsies, I do have to take sections of my day to work. And this is what I do for work. And I make it fun. I make it exciting. And that's why you like being a part of it too.
But is the time done yet?
Nope, it is not done yet because my bracelet is still in the process of being made. Silly girl. As you can see, I am still weaving. Yeah, they're ready to go outside. Yeah, I was like, give me like 10 minutes. And it's like, hey, we're going now? It's like, no, I said 10 minutes. Okay, we're going now? Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. You act like you're corn picked up. Okay, Eleanor, he wants the door open.
But why?
He doesn't want to be in here with the door closed.
I'm just a cracker.
He's upset that I told him no. That's so funny. Yeah, my dog is quite the character. I made the mistake of getting him when my little one was like 9 months old as a puppy. So now he feels like he's equal to her. Oh, it's so funny. So that's where the personality comes from, is because, well, you talk to a baby the same way you talk to a dog, right? Well, now he just thinks that it's just, he's one of us. Like, that's his, it's so funny. And so I treat him like that. I'm just like, okay, fine. This is how we connect. I'll just treat you like one of my kids. So I have to remind him all the time, stop yelling at me. You talk to me without yelling at me. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. Huskies are quite a different breed of animal, I'll tell you what. After 5 years of struggling with the leash, I had to do the unthinkable. I had to get a pinch collar for him. And now he freaking listens. It's like, okay, well, you brought on your own suffering. This is how it's going to be until you actually learn that. So what I'm trying to do is train him to not yank on my mom or yank on my little one. Because he likes to dart after squirrels or cats or dogs or anything. So he'll yank on his leash. So I had to get the pinch collar because I'm tired of fighting him. It's not fun going on walks, so I'm like having to wrestle him the whole time. You know, firm grip. It's just like, dude, I just want to casually walk, man. I don't want to be fighting you. So I had finally, because I'm against that, because it does actually hurt them, I had to do it. And now he actually respects the leash. So, but if he doesn't have his pinch collar on, it's right back to tugging on the collar. Just like, okay, well, and I guess this is how you want it. You want pain and suffering? Great, that's how we're going to do it. I feel so bad. The first time I put it on, I have this lead line that I have him tethered to. It's like 75 feet. And it's so that he can run and do his thing and play with the kids, but not take off after somebody or go after a squirrel into traffic or whatever. Because his eyes are forward, so that's all he sees is what's straight forward. So he doesn't see what's happening around him. Anytime he's taking off and running to the road, truck slamming on the brakes, scaring the shit out, honking horn, just like, come on, dude. But it's like when I let my little one walk him. So he's just like, off he goes. So, first time he's had this pinch collar on there, he took off after a squirrel, and I thought for sure he was going to snap his head right off. Just like, oh my gosh, dude, that looked like it hurt. You know, I felt so bad, but ever since that one, he does not go to the end of the leash. So just like, well, this is how you want to learn, man. Like, we've tried 5 years. We've been trying to not do this. So we had to. And it hurt him. But fortunately, it's the only way he learns, apparently. And it's so crazy because he's so emotional, so sensitive about everything. You know, it's like, wake up and all the trash is thrown over the house, and I'm like, Fox, really? And that's all I need. And then it's just like, yeah, that's all I need. And he's like, he points across, and he's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna hurt me. Oh, I'm such a bad dog. Are you, Fox? No, I don't think you are. You're good about 90% of the time. We need to get that to 100. But I also learned that he actually carries a dragon soul energy in him. So I literally have my own toothless. Is that right? Are you a dragon dog? Are you a dragon doggy? Carrying that? He's like, whatever. You're my little toothless, huh? How funny would you look? How funny would you look without teeth? He's like, I don't like it. It's so funny.
He doesn't like toothless. Why not, Fox?
I'm just teasing with him. Just teasing with him. Okay. So, I got enough of a weave now. We're going to attach it to this and get this thing wrapped up, because apparently they are anxious to get out there. Okay. Take this around. Okay. I'm gonna loop this one around the top here. That tucks into there. Come up and around. Pull on this one here. Back. This one here. Okay. Create an eyelet there. Okay. Boom. Boom, bam, bam. Okay. So I'll show you here. That's where we're at with our coil weaves. Kind of tighten that one side in. Oops. And we're going to continue our weave. Now I don't have to hold it so firmly. I'm just like, oh, my hand's cramping. Keep going on. Okay. Eleanor, open that door. He doesn't want to be in here.
Whatever.
It's not whatever. He literally has been asking me to open that door. He doesn't want to be in here.
I want box.
Oh. He's like, no, she's not going either.
Go on.
He's like, I'm not going if she's not going.
Well, I'm
Oh
gonna
my
close
gosh.
the door.
You're so funny, Fox. He gives her the side eye and everything. I'm just like,
Why are you making a face at me?
oh my gosh. That's so funny.
If I had to. Come on, Fox. Come on. If you're not going, I'm not going. Dad, look. Dad, look how comfy I am. Dad, look how comfy I am.
Sleeping on all your plushies? Nice. So cute.
Fox, you want to join in? Come on, join in. Come on, Fox. Come here. Come on, Fox.
So we are take another loop around right here. Okay. Okay. So split, so it makes it easier for my weave to get in between my wires so I don't cross them in wrong ways. Ruining my patterns or sequence. Oh, hey Tina, welcome. Yeah, I do love this music. Yeah, today, and I think it's because I'm wearing Orthoceras today. See, Amelia was talking about it yesterday in her little short that she posted. And I'm like, I'm gonna wear one today. And I was literally like, this pops up on my YouTube. I'm like, so perfect. So, so I'm just like, okay, well, listening to shamanic music today. I'm rewrapping this bracelet. And if you just barely jumped on, Tina, you just missed me arguing with my dog. It was hilarious. Yeah, so this bracelet, this was my very first beaded bracelet that came to this. So this was the very first one I had. So the picture that I had posted was the before, and this one is going to be redesigned so that it's more durable. But what happened was it snapped the clasp that held it on, and I couldn't fix it. And because it was such a small, thin wire, basically, she couldn't keep it on her wrist. It was kept falling off. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just retie it, no problem. You know, it's just because that was my like essentially prototype of this design, which evolved into this one, which is freaking bulletproof. So I'm redoing her bracelet again. I already channeled in her stones, and so what we're working with is purple charoite, or charoite, I think is what my AI likes to say, charoite. But it's like that tiger's eye purple color with black stone, if you're actually looking for it. And what went with hers was the purple epidolite amethyst and then black obsidian. Hey Steve, welcome. Welcome. Been crafting all morning, arguing with my dog, and we're weaving. Talking about what I do. So welcome. I appreciate you guys sharing your light and your love. It's such a beautiful time we live in today. So we are almost done with this bracelet. So I want to give a little shout out to Tina now that she's here. She made me these little crystal infused oils with her own made recipes that are absolutely, like, these are very fragrant. Absolutely love them. She uses like, so this one's got like the rose, so it's got rose oil and castor oil and argan oil, and I forgot what else is in there. But yeah, argan oil, rose hip, serenity from doTERRA, I think, lavender and bergamot. And the other one that I really like too that she sent is what no longer serves, is what she called it. But it's got a hyalocysum, I guess is how you would say that. Lavender, bergamot, argan oil, lavender, and frankincense. This one. Love the frankincense. That's my thing. The Bible talked about it. And speaking of which, we're going to apply some. But the Bible kind of talked about it when Christ was born, bringing herbs of frankincense and myrrh. And I use the frankincense and myrrh for a lot of my own personal spiritual stuff when I'm doing aromatherapies. So this one that she made with the rose quartz fusion in it, shake it up. It's kind of cool. You'll see the little crystals in there. Nice little golden thing. This is her prototype. I love it. I love that it's a little extra fragrant because the aroma lingers. So it's like wearing a cologne. And her, I don't know. I guess I like smelling like a flower, I guess. Because I really like it. But yeah, her mixture, amazing. So there's that. I absolutely love the product. I use it all the time. Yeah, you like that smell too? Do I smell like a flower? Could I be a little bumblebee? He's like, what is that smell? What is it? What's that smell? What is it? You like it too? He's like, I want some. So my dog likes it.
Dad.
What is it?
Dad.
What?
We're making squishy Lantida.
You're making a squishy Atlantis land?
Lantida.
Are you gonna help too? Okay, go help.
Come on.
Go get him. My dog is obsessed with it. So Tina, whatever's in there, dogs love it apparently. He's just like, it's like a cat with catnip. That's what it's like right now with him. I'm just like, what the heck? What is it, Fox? Can you smell it? It's my perfume. See? He's like, oh no. I already told you why it's taking so long. When I start these, I have to finish them. He's used to me just stopping and taking breaks. Which is so dumb because he went out right before I started this show. It's like, it is a beautiful blue day out there. Probably gonna do my next bracelet outside today. This one is also for my old boss. The original one that I had made for him, I was just like, I'm not really sure if I like the design, so I just gotta redo it for him. So that's gonna be my next one today, is his. And then King of Wands, if you're still here, yours is next. In Q, and I believe Tina, yours are right after King of Wands. Yeah, I got Christy, Brock. Yeah, Christy, Brock. King of Wands, Tina, Deborah, Cynthia, Kathy. So many. Yeah, but Cynthia's I'm doing Brother Jimmy's pendulum. Oh, I finally figured out my printer settings to format my pages. So now I can do my little print out my little metaphysical cards. Please, I am doing it live. I am literally with people right now. Can it wait till I'm done?
Once you're done with this project, you can put the tables away.
I will discuss it when I'm done. I'm going to lock my door now because I really don't like all these interruptions. Let's go. I will be done when I'm done. Thanks, guys. Gotta be in the Forcer sometimes. But I forgot what I was even saying. Anyway, so there's that. She's wanting me to set up a blanket for it. Like, the kids, they're so funny. So she's got a blanket for with all of her plushies. So she's trying to get me to break my attention to come out. She does this with her mom. Her mom caves, so that's why she does it with me. It's kind of hard not to because she's so stinking cute. But I have to establish that boundary. Like, hey, I'm crafting. There's a block of time. This is what I'm going to do. You know, when I'm ready to take that break, we will go do something. And it's just learning how to respect that I'm working on with her. But her mother tends to be the butler around the house, serving them at every wit's end. They'll be laying there watching a screen all day and be like, Mom, give me a glass of water. And she will get up from her work that she's doing to do that for them. I don't fly like that. Sorry. So, nope, you're big enough now. You can open the fridge. You can get your own water. You can do whatever you need. But I always enforce that. I got 2 hours. That's the time I'm going to spend. When I'm done, I am done. So I can take a break. So it's been interesting learning sovereignty because she's not used to it. You know, it's like when I'm home, it's like we're playing, we're doing things. So she's not quite used to the fact that I'm working from home now. So she's just not used to it. And, most days, it's like she gets my attention. It's like, hey, I can get up and go help her with that. But usually it's like, nope, I need at least an hour to get focused. So, yeah, as you can tell with my little ones and my dog and everyone else, my production goes down a little bit when she's here with me. And I'm okay with that because I love spending time with her. It's my favorite. But I also love this too, so I have to find that balance. So that was 10, Okay, so for those of you that have been coming on, this is what we've done so far. We got this part of the bracelet done. We got all our coils going around here. We do a little tensor coil around these. And we're just finishing up the last few loops on this. That is what we're doing. Okay. I think I was talking about her bracelet, the Charoite, as I call it, because that's what it looks like. It's Charoite, I guess. The Charoite is very attuned to your third eye and your crown chakra, but it also has a very soothing, comforting because of its lithium base, like lepidolite. So it's you can actually use Charoite for headaches, migraines. So if you got one, you can massage it where that pain or pressure is to kind of help get the energy flowing through it to alleviate your headaches. So Charoite's pretty cool. It is kind of rare. It is kind of expensive. I think this strand of beads cost me $150. So I'm just Charoite. It's just a really cool one. But it helps with that intuition, that divine connection. I put that lepidolite in there to kind of help balance and soothe this because it is pretty intense. So the lepidolite will soothe it. And then we've got the amethyst paired with the obsidian for that flow, that circuitry, that spark, that igniter with the grounding stone. It helps neutralize negative energy, which is super cool. And I am excited. My brother Tommy Truthful, be doing a podcast with him about EMF and crystals for EMF protection, which is super awesome. But I love working with my crystals to shield myself from those EMF radiations. It's pretty crazy. Which is part of the reason why my Wi-Fi is all wigging out. So I moved all my crystals out of the way today so that I can have a clear stream, because they're like wigging out my stuff. And that's what I mean, like these crystals do play a part in our healing. No, that's too much. Okay, perfect. But they do play a part in it. And I love researching into the body align technology, their little bands, because they use shungite and black tourmaline in it along with their holographic frequencies, which from my understanding, people are loving it, loving what they do for themselves, their energy, the vitality, just feeling good. Like people absolutely love those body align bands. Because I work with all my crystals and pretty regularly. Really, I don't have a need for it because I'm already doing that work myself. But I love reading and hearing people's experiences with it, because it is just a band you can put on that is just comfortable to wear. And people even say, if you don't take it off at a certain point in the night, you'll be energized all night. Which is crazy to think about, because we think that, oh, we need coffee to do that. We need caffeine, we need Red Bulls. But yet there's devices out there that can help with that without all the substance. And I use my crystals for that reason, because it's natural, it comes of earth. I understand them in the way that I do, so I can work with them more appropriately. And it's like a natural healing, and it works. I share my wisdom, and really a lot of it is just practice. People are like, well, I don't know if it's doing anything. Well, it's not instant. Crystals don't work in an instant manner usually. Sometimes they do. But most of the time they're subtle activators. They're like a trickle charge for a battery. They're always going to be flowing. They're always going to be energizing. They're always going to be doing their thing. Whether you're sleeping, working, moving, whatever, they're always going to be doing their thing. And so crystals, just in the background, like background noise, like on your computer, you got background apps running behind the scenes. That's what a crystal's doing for you and your frequency. Now, you are the med bed. You are capable of healing yourself. Okay, but I do have to get better at saying I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice, not even in the slightest. Okay, I'm just working with crystals and I'm healing myself with my body. I'm doing it. I'm listening to my body. But I understand that our energy field it absorbs frequency, it repels frequency, it does all sorts of crazy things for us. And so when you allow these into your aura field, these are resonating at a certain frequency. Because we're like a battery, we're harmonizing with that frequency. So if we're feeling low vibe and we're stressed out and it's like, oh, I'm just nervous and shaky, it's like, okay, well, let's get a stone that's going to help you calm that nervous system. So a salt, something cubic, something grounding, something that's like connected to earth, black tourmaline, shungite, malachite, whatever. That does a frequency that helps harmonize your nervous system so that you can heal. Because once your nervous system is calm and collected, the healing really begins within your body, and it starts doing its own repairs. Like our body, we're told, is an imperfect machine. It's flawed. And I disagree. I'm sorry. I disagree. Because I've been doing things that scientists and doctors like to argue that's not possible. And I disagree. And so these are my experiences. I do this for myself, and I'm just going to share. Whether you choose to go and take this knowledge and practice and run with it and learn it, great. If not, someone else will. Truly, it's like we need to figure out what works for us in our healing. And for me, I resonate most with crystals, so that's how I'm doing it. And herbs and the mushrooms, mycology. I love working with culinary mushrooms, so your lion's mane, shiitake, oysters, The cordyceps, I love working with mushrooms in all of my stuff. Last night we made portobello marinara. Oh, absolutely delicious. Seasoned up with some balsamic vinegar and caramelized onions and garlic. So that's what I mean. I work with mushrooms a lot. But I like the culinary ones for the flavor. Because I like the taste of meat. I know I shouldn't eat a lot of it, so I'm reducing. And that substitute is mushrooms for me. And I love it. But as we learn to work with our stones, however it may be, could be a tumbled stone, could be a palm stone, a piece of jewelry, however we choose to work with them, they aren't going to emit their own frequencies. They are conscious. And the evidence that kind of supports that is the very screen you're looking at. Your screen is using quartz crystal. LCD quite literally means liquid crystal display, and it is quartz crystal. More interestingly, if it comes from a crystal mine in Arkansas, a lot of it does. And then there's another one that just opened in Brazil because of the clarity of the quartz crystal, like they're perfect. So for our technology, the crystals can't have inclusion. They have to be like solid, clear, like see-through crystal for our technology to work. So it's a specific quality of crystal. Because if they have inclusions, then it fractures the light, it fractures the energy gets passed through it for the display screen. And so the inclusions cause glitches, if you will, because of how it's refracting the energy. So there's a type of crystal they use for technology, but nonetheless, it's quartz crystal. So if our technology uses it, and it's based on an energy device or a battery or something backing behind it, then our bodies that are also known as a salt battery, producing energy, discharging, is going to start resonating with that frequency. And quartz crystal is chosen for our technology because it's an energy amplifier, and it has piezoelectric properties that allow it to absorb energy and discharge energy, kind of like a capacitor. Old Native American shamans used to have quartz crystals that have been charged in the sun all day and dead crystals that don't have or have an exhausted energy. And putting them in their little maraca thing, they can smack the crystals together and they would spark and illuminate a light. This can be measured. So many people can, get on YouTube and just look it up. Crystals discharging light. You can smack two crystals together and create that kinetic energy that becomes piezoelectric to emit a spark. So crystals are emitting energy, and they are conscious. They're not an organic conscious like what we're used to as a human or an animal or a plant. It's a different kind. Without the element of living, they're still, conscious to that degree. Because consciousness really is energy. And I'm speaking in the realm of quantum physics, because Joe Dispenza has been teaching for a very long time. We are the placebo. The med bed is within us. We have the ability to heal ourselves. Every ascended master has been teaching us how to do this. So I educate on how crystals come into the play. How does that come into play? How can we utilize these things for Gaia? Because as I'm understanding our ascension here on Earth, we have to heal Gaia too. And part of that healing for her so that she can bring in new energies into this Earth is we have to use up what's here. And she's going to keep providing that for us because of the love that she carries. And so what's provided by her, in my opinion, should be free at our disposal without a cost attached to it. We have to utilize what's there so it can be exhausted. Energy is always being recycled, always. So it has to be used up in order for it to be recycled, rejuvenated, renewed. So it's very important that we utilize what was given to us here on this earth. Connect. I've been coming to understand that our biology is more like a plant than anything. Like we think that to get proteins in our system, we need to eat an animal product. But yet, and when you're actually looking at side by side, microscopic pictures of human matter and plant matter, you begin to see some parallels in just how it's formed, the structure of it. They become very interesting. Right? Like mushrooms, biologically we're very similar to a mushroom in a lot of ways. So it's very interesting how if when we get back to our natural state of things, that becoming one with everything as we go back to our roots, literally our roots. Kathy, welcome. Because of mushrooms. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, speaking of which, Kathy, they talk about that. James Cameron does in the new Avatar movie. Oh my gosh. And if you haven't seen the new Avatar movie, there is so much disclosure. Oh my gosh. Just reading all you guys' comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. No, Steve, I am not in my new house now. My apartment lease is up June 1st, so I'm slowly moving in because there's no rush to get into there. But we'll have most everything over there. Furniture will be like a weekend thing. We'll just get a couple trucks and trailers, haul everything off, and off we go. But I want to get situated and fully moved into my home by my daughter's birthday, which is a week after we move in. So that's when we're gonna try to get my house set up for the housewarming party or whatever. But yeah, it's amazing. So Kathy, I love that. So James Cameron. I won't share it. Watch the movie. You'll see what I'm talking about. But the mycelium play a part in our growth. It really does play its part. Which is what the mushroom beings, when they come to me, have been sharing with me. Is like you don't necessarily need to dabble in the psychedelic realm of mushrooms, although because of their power in them, your healing is much faster. But just mushrooms in general, myceliated, your algae, those healthy ones are really good for your body. And as Kathy said, it helped with her respiratory problems. So, it's fascinating what they can do for you when you're ready to actually accept the healing of it. But yeah, mushrooms are incredible. I use lion's mane a lot for my mental clarity. Believe it or not, I used to have a pretty fried brain from some drug use. Stuttered a lot. I stammered a lot. I couldn't really convey my voice very well. It was fragmented. I'd like be in the middle of a sentence and have to pause to think about what I'm going to say next. Like that was the thing. I fried my brain at a young age. When I discovered that some of these mushrooms can help with that, it's been incredible. Just because I just started doing it, the healing that's been happening, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I no longer do this anymore. It's like, what the heck? And Paul Stamets, he talks about how he literally years of suffering in his life because of his self-consciousness with his lisp, takes a very, very powerful hero's dose of mushrooms and cures his lisp overnight, and his whole world changed. He was able to attract somebody that he loved. He was able to talk to the girl that he was like super, attracted to, and they ended up, getting married or whatever because he was afraid to talk to this person because of his stutter. It caused him a lot of affliction imposed on himself because of that stutter. And so he's just on a hero's journey, climbing a tree, thunderstorm, doing what he does, and he wakes up and he no longer has a lisp. So it's an overnight thing. So people have these stories. I've been using psilocybin to heal ailments in my body that have arisen when half my face wasn't working. After I was doing some astral work, like the psilocybin helped facilitate the healing of reconnecting neural pathways to make everything function again. because the brain is always wired. But it's like as you're, it's like driving to work. Okay, if you're driving to work, you just get in that routine. I'm going to work. I'm on the same road. I make the same right here. I make the same left here. You could literally close your eyes and drive yourself to work. That's the routine you take, right? Well, those neural connections in your brain flow in the same way, the path of least resistance. And so what these plant medicines do is they light up the brain. And all of a sudden the brain's like, well, what if we went this way? What if we went this way? It starts redoing all these things and it starts firing differently. And next thing you know, things start working again because the brain just lights up with activity. Just there's energy pathways going down different paths that were already there, which is just incredible. So these plant medicines do have a profound impact for our own healing, especially if we're dealing with past traumas, childhood traumas, PTSD from whatever, it's just, they provide that pathway for us to heal our bodies within. Like, we are the placebo, we are powerful. So again, I have to retort again, I'm not giving you medical advice because I am not an indoctrinated doctor. Okay, I do these things in my own terms. I experiment on myself and I have proven to myself that they work. Okay, so I'm just sharing my findings with you. You do what you want with my knowledge, but I'm not giving you that medical advice that it can cure you. But what I can say is that if you were to experiment with it, your own healing would become your own journey, and you would see that in your experience how different this world is. I love learning about the plant medicines on Gaia Network. If you haven't seen any of that, but they talk about psilocybin, DMT, mescaline, the realms, the astrophysics, just all the things that happen with psychedelics, and it's quite wonderful how parallel people's experiences are. Sorry, apparently my internet just cut out. But what I'm saying is I was watching Gaia, and it's amazing how parallel other people's experiences are with the realm of the mystics. And they all tell the same story, but these people don't know who each other are. It's like when I was listening to some of these stories on Gaia of people sharing their experiences in the DMT world, I'm like, I know exactly what they're talking about. I've seen that. I've been there. I know exactly. It's like it all comes back. And it's like there's something else to this. And that's what I say is like sometimes when you're in the spiritual realm, things feel more real than this reality. It's a hard concept for a 3D mind to wrap their head around because we want to rely on concrete facts and whatever. But in quantum physics, everything is doing their own thing until an observer observes something. So if we are creating our reality based on our observations, then how do we manipulate that to benefit us the way that we see it? I see this world as a game of life, really, now that I'm no longer afraid of what I'm up against, no longer afraid of these control systems. It's like, how can I do what they're doing, but in a healthy way that helps everybody? What can I do? So I just share my messages, share my wisdom, share my knowledge, because that's the best I can do for the world. Share happiness, share joy, share my creations, and just talk to you. Be real, be authentic. Like, that is my gift, is I can just be my authentic self, and people resonate, and that's great. I love it. So, not sure where that came from, but I was dreaming about the mushroom beings last night. Yeah, Joe Dispenza is amazing. I've read a bunch of his books. I totally highly recommend reading his books. Becoming Supernatural was life-changing for me because he takes what we understand as modern science because of his research in the brain and understanding the brain's powers. He takes modern science and parallels it to the quantum physics, the realms, the metaphysics, the placebo effect of you're able to heal yourself. He's able to use science to explain in a way that 3D mind people are like, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay. It's just like, so that's why I like him. So if you start practicing with what he's teaching, you'll begin to see the changes start unfolding in your life. And it becomes enumerated depending on where you're at in your journey. Like, it just depends on you. What are you trying to heal? Because you can do it. And Christ was teaching us this when he walked this earth. He was teaching us this. And so we're all awakening to our own divinity, our own power. And when Christ said that we can do more than he can, it's when we all come together. When we realize who we are and we can help another, and through that energy of love, okay, that's really what it is, that energy of love, the healing begins. And collectively, and come on, and even on Gaia Network, I love the one that was talking about the chant that those shamans were doing for that lady that had like a bladder tumor or something, and it was causing her much affliction in her life and years of suffering. And on an ultrasound, the tumor was like this, and so you have your bladder lining that's here, and it had the node, and it was all cancerous and tumorous, and it was causing her pain. Well, these healers come in and they're just doing this chant. And it was basically the chant is like, you can, you're healed, you're healed. And that was the chant. And on the ultrasound, you watch that tumor just shrink away, gone, disappeared. All of her pain's gone. It was disappeared just like that on an ultrasound. So the body itself is extremely powerful with your own belief. Like, we're able to heal ourselves, and it's understanding that we can do it. We don't give our power to other things. We do it because we know we can. Now, a lot of people likes to argue, well, how do I start? Where do I begin? Start breathing. Go on a walk. Clear your mind. Figure out how to calm your mind to a point that you can be still, without a distraction, without white noise. The best way to get rid of the white noise and distractions of your devices is just to get outside and listen to outside. Listen to the wind blow in the leaves. Listen to the birds chirp. Listen to the life that's happening around you. That's the best way to start your own healing, is get in the ground, the soil. Hug a tree. Seriously. It's just like, and then you will begin to see new perspectives. You'll have new awarenesses. The next thing you know, it's like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can overcome it. Yes, I believe it's possible. And then, because now you're connected to your oversoul, your intuition, your divine aspect, it's just like, oh, it makes so much more sense. I get it. So it's just, we literally create our own limitations within the mind. And that's what Joe Dispenza teaches, is that our mind is so powerful and we are so capable as beings here on this earth. So yes, while medical can provide some help and can provide some relief, I'm not denying that, but there aren't a lot of doctors out there that said, hey, I have cured this. Here's how I did it. And there's a reason for that. Because there's no money to be made in an industry where people are healed. Okay, so we are now done. We're now at the end here. We've got to wrap it all together. So I am... Let's get pliers here. Okay. Yeah, Joe Dispenza is incredible. Love listening to him talk, and he has just a kind voice. Like, he really is. Like, I enjoy listening to him. Kind of like people argue with me on that, but I like listening to Alan Watts, for instance, like Alan Watts stuff. Like, I like the sound of his voice. It's just amazing. Yeah, you want some good inspiration and philosophies on how to change your perspective about this life? Listen to some Alan Watts. He's amazing to listen to. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so I'm going to snip this thread off here. Let's see, I'm going to do this. Let's do it. It's on the other side. Grab this. Okay. Snip this here on the back side. Okay. So we have got this done. It's all wrapped and woven. Now we gotta make our little loop ends, and then this will complete my bracelet. It's pretty simple. So we've been at it 2 hours, not too bad. Okay. Where is my half round? Ugh. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Right here. Oh. Oh. I thought it was half round. There's my 21 gauge. I said I need to get more room. Where's my half round? Get my closet. Okay. I don't know where my half round wire is. I got like 4 spools of it. Weird. Yeah, start packing things up. Pull out some scrap wire because I need a half round. So dumb. There we go. So I use the 21 gauge half round, and I like this one because it lays flat when you're wrapping around wires, but it also gives that bump look like you're working with a round wire, which is super nice. So that's what I do there. So we're going to tie these ends together. Nice and tight. And then the 3 of these wires that I'm looping around, this is going to give those links, the end links, that structural integrity for her so that she doesn't cause damage to her next one. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to slide this down now. Okay, perfect. Let's take one of these out of there. Okay. See, we got our wires bound together there. I'm going to take this. I use my number 2. This one. We're just going to take this here. Stay put. Loop like so. Shift your wires, make sure they're all adjusted. Because when you crimp with that, they'll like to stretch a little bit, so you have to like readjust them. Stiff wire. Holy cow. That is incredible. Do not recommend using yes, baby girl. He does. Huh? Of course he does. Because I'm in here. Bent in the wrong direction. She was tapping on my door. It's like, why is this looking all funky? Okay. Stop, 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 So this is a awareness that I have come into recently. I've been trying to practice doing the spoon bending because I'm curious. Because when a lot of times when I'm working with my wires, like people are like, how do you do that so hard? Like hands hurt, you know, like, and I just effortlessly bend a lot of this stuff. But I was like, well, I wonder if I can apply that to spoon bending, what I'm doing with my wires. I haven't been able to do it. Maybe it's just my mind, just like the spoon's not really there kind of thing. Like they were teaching in the Matrix. To bend the spoon is realizing the spoon's not really there. It's just like, what? That makes no sense. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I bent it backwards like a dummy. So now I was able to use some of that Reiki, if you will, to soften it enough so that it would come back around without breaking. Because paying attention. Okay. So now we're going to lock this in. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Ugh. Perfect. buff that one up, but I got a burr. My pliers slipped. So I got these diamond tipped files for this. Just real gently pulls it right off. It's super nice. So there's the one end on our bracelet. All set to go. Bulletproofed, set, perfect. Okay. Now I just need to attach this other side, and we will have my thing completed. I think I have enough half round here. I'll have to go hunt for another strip. Okay, so we'll pull these two inward. Here. Okay. Take this, wrap this one around. Tight like a tiger. So we have start. Set there. Take this here. Slide it down. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to take all of this and fold it around. Make sure I got the right way this time. Obviously. Yes. They're all happy accidents, right? That's what Bob Ross teaches us. Just happy accidents. beautiful. Okay. Same thing. We are flowing with the flow of my copper wires. So, don't have enough tail to grab onto. Okay. Perfect. Rounded the edge. So this is where we're at. So this is the reed tie. Sorry, I don't have a way of pulling up the before. But the before is not the same. It's not the same. So we got this here. Now we're gonna shape it. Okay. And then for her, because I already have, actually I better measure this first. I already have a wrist size. So we've got 0. Yeah. Oh wow, so we're like right perfect. So she's basically because her wrist is kind of small. She's gonna get a. She's about 6.5 inches. So we're gonna make a clasp to link that together right there. And that'll be her bracelet, as you can see there. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that clasp real quick, and we'll finish this one up. It'll be all set to go. That is our custom bracelet for her. Just super beautiful. And I like doing these ones because I can tune them with a variety of crystals. And I'm using a tensor coil design to help with the energy flow with our 2 electric nodes that apply here on our wrist, the meridians. So all of our aura field, it flows through our hands and our feet. All of our energy system flows through them. And Joe Dispenza shows the science behind that, which is so beautiful in that Becoming Supernatural book. It's incredible. It shows the science, the brain scans, the energy flows, all of it. It's absolutely incredible. The energy systems that flow in our body, and we gotta learn how to harness them within us. So bracelets are super cool because they can apply to everywhere in your body because everything flows through your hands and feet, which is such a beautiful thing. Our bodies were created by intelligent design, which is why I disagree that our bodies are flawed and we need all this other stuff outside of us to heal ourselves. Now, to be of this earth, we need minerals. To be of this earth, we need nutrition. We need elements in our body to sustain the physical body's form here. Yes, but the chemicals that you can't pronounce a name to, that's what I mean. We don't need that stuff. Our little stabs that they like to give us. We don't need those either. People that are in fear are the ones that say, yes, we do need it. We're afraid of all of this. Well, it is scary what they put on the stage. It's terrifying. It is terrifying. So I just unplug. Just like, I don't want to be a part of it because the more energy I put into it consciously and collectively, the more likely it's going to unfold that way. So if they want a war, then they need the collective consciousness to allow that war to happen. And so they manipulate our energy and make it so. Put it out in their movies, put it out in their books, put it out in the military, still telling young kids that they need to fight for their country, do the right thing, be the patriot, and I disagree with all of it. You can't fight fire with fire. You need to fight fire with water. Like, that's the only logical thing that makes sense, right? Well, water is healing. Water is consciousness. Water is enlightenment. Water is soothing, therapeutic. So fight fire with water. Makes more sense in my book. Fight the fear with love. Okay. So, the design that we're going to do, we're going to freeform this. So I've got my little node here that's going to fold and lock. I'll show you how I do it. But we're going to take this end here. Okay, we're going to bend to make a hook. Okay, we're going to bend to make a hook. Okay, bring this around to make my hook, like so. Okay, the bracelet is going to come in right like this. See what I'm saying? Got my hook coming off. It's going to come in like that. So now that we've brought it around, okay, we need to bring this to go around our bracelet. Okay, so we're going to hold it here now. I actually have to hold it right here. Okay, so we're going to take this, bring it around because we have to loop it into our bracelet. Then we're going to take this one and follow alongside it. Okay, so as you can see now, we have an S form. Okay, so we're going to take our bracelet now. We're going to fold these in through here. Okay, and now you can see what I mean by the hook. I hang it in there. So to prevent damage to the bracelet as a whole, this is easier to replace than fixing the whole thing. So that's where this design came from. And then I can make a universal fit that'll work for most. And I can add jump rings to lengthen, sizen it, but ultimately I'll make a 1 inch or a 1/2 inch hook here. Okay, so now that I've got it in there, we're going to wrap that together. So we're going to take this here, this inner one, we're going to fold it down and in. Okay. Like so. So we're going to give it just that bit of room there, like that. And we're going to pinch it here. Use my pliers. Get a nice clean cut here. bring our next tail over, as you can see. I'm going to bring my next tail over this way. Okay, again, just gently straighten those wires out. So we're going to pair them up so they bend the same. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Take that. Now we have it. We're going to adjust. Okay. Crimp that down. Okay. So, I'm going to show you this here. So as you can see, we have our bracelet. It's looped around, come up. We got our hook here. And it's just going to fold down there. Okay. To lock it in place, I'm going to take this, trim it, and I'm going to fold that little end down on the end so it links. It stays nice and flush. I'll show you here in a second. Snip and snip. Okay. So you'll see now they have the snips there. So I'm going to snip those wires. So I'm going to take those ends. And I like using these ones because they'll flex a little bit, which is super nice. That allows it to kind of help spring it downward as I squeeze it. Okay, so we're just going to loop that end around. Like that. Okay, so now I have this, we're going to bend, okay, so my hook that I have here. Okay, if you look on the side view of it, you'll see how I curve that end of the hook downward. And what this does is it helps lock in when you link it together. Oh, I bent it the wrong way. I'm so dumb. So the idea is that will give a little bit of depth to it, so it'll slide right into there. But when it hooks onto the bracelet, see how that locks into place? It keeps it from moving. So I bend that tab down. But it's easy because it allows it to slide through, lock into place, and secure. See how that works? So what happens now with this bracelet, okay, is that say she goes and grabs and it gets hooked on a corner of a table or something. Instead of damaging this whole thing here, it's going to break this. And as you saw, it took me 5 minutes to make something like this, and that's an easy repair for these bracelets. That was the update. So her bracelet before, if I can find the piece, but I put the hook into the form of the bracelet and linked it together. So rather than this being an eyelet, this would have been a hook right here. So when her hook broke, didn't have enough room on this side to adjust it without ruining the bracelet. So This is the updated design. As you can see, it holds there. She's got a really small bracelet, I know, but I'll make sure before she gets it. We're going to size this up perfectly, but I wanted to show how I'm doing these little hook things for my cuff bracelets. But that little tab bent downward towards the wrist really does lock it in place, and it makes it easy to remove in and out. So see the design there, how simple that is? So that's what we're doing here. So anyway, that's my creation. We rewrapped this one so that it's a perfect fit for her. She's a little rough on her jewelry, which is totally fine. Because I'm an artisan and a crafter and I value my craftsmanship, I value it a lot. I want to make sure it's taken care of. So that is my assurance to everybody that is supporting my business and buying my jewelry. If they get damaged, they get broken because of my architecture, my design. Now, if you, let's be honest here. You can damage them. If you're neglecting them to some way, like if it runs over, gets run over by a car, like whatever it may be, like there's, if it's a structural, like, hey, this hook broke off. It's like, oh, okay, let me fix that for you. I'll do that for you. And really it's just the shipping. So it's just kind of my assurance with my business. Looks like a swan. Yeah, you're right. It does look like a swan. Oh, Amelia made it. Cool. Welcome, guys. I wasn't seeing who's coming in. Yeah, Amelia, you're welcome. So you were talking about the Orthoceras. So I'm wearing one today, one that I wrapped. Absolutely amazing. I love working with mine for that reason. So this will be my next Orthoceras I'm going to wrap because of your video. You inspired me for that. So Amelia made it. That's amazing. Okay, I'm just catching up on my stuff here. Yeah, all great books. Trump just signed an executive order on psychedelics. What does that even mean? Does it mean that they're going to allow people to actually seek medical attention with it? Because that would be amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, Joe Dispenza on Gaia is amazing. So psychedelics should not be treated lightly. Like it can actually really mess you up if you aren't prepared for what's going to happen with it, because they're powerful. Once you're in it, you're like, you have to write it out. That's how it works. And I have heard experiences where people have such a traumatizing experience that it can actually mess with their brain. But they were also not willing to heal. Okay, if you're unwilling to, if you're resisting your own healing and your growth, these medicines will not help you. They'll do the opposite. So just understand that it's you that creates that. So I wanted to disclose that. Well, if it is a start, great, because the psilocybin, the mescaline, the DMT, the dimethyltryptamine, like which our pineal actually produces that chemical. So when you're breathing, you're doing your exercises, you're activating your solar plexus, you get the body flowing, and you get the pineal vibrating, you're releasing the dimethyltryptamine, which is the DMT that is what we call a drug. Quote, the drugs are those pills that don't cure us. That's the real truth. They are selling drugs. But we actually produce that. And the science, as I'm understanding it, the DMT in our body's production is at its highest, most potent form when we first incarnate here and when our soul's checking out this body, like we're dying. Our brain is producing the highest amount of DMT at those 2 points in our life, the beginning and the end of this physical body. We're not dying like forever, like our soul is eternal. This avatar that we're in, this avatar, it dies, and that's okay. But we have the option of coming back, through that incarnation process. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that it's quite wondrous what we discover when we trust in the divine. And the divine isn't limited to sin and limited to commandments and atonements and and our dream story. Yeah, so we are getting like trickle doses, and I think that the body actually does release the DMT to help you actually have a visual dream. It is a natural thing, and so there's a lot of study trying to understand why this compound is so, like, it's actually found in a lot of living things. So there has to be something to it. And I really think that compound is what allows us to stay connected to source, which is why they've been trying to calcify our pineal, which is why they've been poisoning us with heavy metals so that our brain isn't connecting to divine source, so that we're more malleable, that we're more complacent, we comply with their matrix system. Casket of soul in the vessel. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the catalyst too. So there's something spiritual with that chemical compound that's naturally occurring in the brain. And so it's fascinating in my own experimentation and guidance, because I've been working with shamans and healers of all sorts, working on some of these plant medicines. There are powerful ones, and on some of these plant medicines, they don't necessarily have a psychoactive effect, but they have profound effects for the body, like dandelions, for instance. Do your research about a dandelion. From the flower to the stem to the milk to the root to the leaves, the dandelion is an herbal medicine for anti-inflammatory. Like, it is incredible what the dandelion is. And they tell us that we need to go and kill it. The very first flower that, like the snow crocus, that blooms for the bees and the pollinators to start their work so that we can eat, they tell us to go and kill them all off. There's a reason for that. It's because they're trying to rewrite history so that we have to rely on that system to heal ourselves, which they're not selling us the cure. They're selling us the Band-Aid, truly. The Band-Aid, so that we can become a lifetime customer. And that's not fair to us. I don't want to spend my entire earning that I make in my household, all my income, going to just someone else just to say, oh, you're going to be on this pill for the rest of your life. Oh, you're going to need all these other things. No. That's not quality of life to me. That's not quality of life. I want to be able to go and grab, dandelions are spring's first food for a lot of animals. And they tell us to kill it. And yet dandelions they're abundant year round. So sure, I don't like when they're ugly and they're fuzzies. So like if I have them, when the flower starts dying, they start getting those fuzzies coming up, I'm picking that part, because I don't want it to get out of control. But if they're just happen to show up in spring, yeah. But by the time the dandelions are doing their thing, it's like I've got other things flowering to help stimulate that I don't need dandelions to stay. But, that is just me. But it's amazing. So I have a lot of things I've been experimenting on for the last 10 years that have changed my life forever. And it has to do with plants and herbs and rocks. And they're all things of this earth. They're all here. So if you're out there and you think that God created everything, then why would God put these plants on here on this earth to heal us? Why would God make it possible for crystals to form? Why would God make it possible for us to have fossils to our disposal? Why would, that's what I question. It's like, oh, you got to get right with God. You can't trust in the occultic stuff with crystals. And it's like, okay, well, if God created everything, then he created the crystals, right? He created the minerals. He created the salts. He created the plants. He created the mushrooms. He created the bugs. He created everything, right? He created all things. But yet we're like, you can't trust in those parts of God. Those good, we can't do that. kind of hypocritical, right? Kind of like a double standard. So I'm here to educate, because I have gone through my rounds of breaking my matrix, my indoctrination, and finding out who I am. And who I am, well, they can't take that from me. I am saving my own soul. That's it. That's the secret to life. You want happiness? Be present. You want happiness? Do something good for someone else. And it comes abundantly. Each time I help somebody else, share a message, help with groceries, give them a compliment, whatever, that little act of kindness, it sends ripples. It makes someone's day. And then they're going to go home and share that ripple with their family. And then that family is going to have that ripple. You see how energetically, as we come together, because they tell us, if you talk down on somebody, oh, this person was so mean, they ruined my day, they cut me off, and then you go home, and then that negative energy is put on your family. Now your family's acting out. Now the animals are acting out. It's like you see the ripple that happens. So when you focus on that shift of it, of working with the positive side, the energy of it, focusing on doing something beyond yourself, doing something greater than yourself, helping another in some way, shape, or form. And it really could be as simple as a compliment. It really could just be, here, let me assist you. It really could be, hold that door for a mother carrying her child in a diaper bag. You know, it's just like those small acts of kindness that go unnoticed by most really send those ripples for healing amongst everybody. A simple act of kindness can change someone's day. Therefore, you healed them to some degree. That's what I mean, is that healing is all around us, and it really starts with our perspective, our mind. It begins with all of that. And so I love it. So anyway, we're coming on 3 hours. I need to get the kids outside to play in the sun because they've been bugging me all day. If y'all missed it, hit the rewind. You'll see me arguing with my dog. It is the funniest thing. Because a lot of times when my camera's rolling, he doesn't respond because he knows what's happening. But he was getting jealous. Yes, our words are more powerful than we... Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, Kathy, you're so right. Our words are way more powerful than we can imagine. And for me, my association with it, growing up in my home with my mother, she had a lot of unhealed trauma, a lot of unhealed wounds. And when she was really stressed and triggered, which as kids, we do that, right? We bring out those triggers in our parents. Well, my mom, because she hadn't healed at that point in her life, her voice was more damaging than her physical abuse. The voice of her talking down to us, making us feel so small and little, literally was more damaging for me than getting a beating with a belt that I had to choose. Carrie, you mentioned that earlier, but you know, it's like that was the environment that I had been disciplined in. Now I'm going to say disciplined because, yeah, I broke those contracts. But verbally, someone talking down to you, gaslighting you, making you feel small, picking out your flaws, you know, whatever it may be, projecting is really what they're doing, projecting. Those words can really, I mean, people commit suicide over it. That's how serious and powerful our words are. So if we can do that to somebody with our words that cause them to go to the extreme point of suicide, what do you think can happen then if we start sharing that same energy back with love, presence, compassion? That is the power of our words, using our throat chakra. When it can cause harm and destruction, it can also bring light and love and provide that pathway for healing. It's incredible that we learn how to use this throat chakra that the system has told us to suppress. Don't speak up. Don't listen to your mind. Don't trust your observations. That's the biggest thing. Don't trust. Okay, have a good, first BMX race. That's exciting. That's a lot of fun. Cool. Have fun, Tina. But yeah, our words are extremely powerful. And even if we're thinking these thoughts, oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, I'm so, and I said it earlier today. I catch myself all the time. Now that I'm conscious, I catch myself saying it. It's like, stop it. I'm not dumb. It's just, I'm having a fart moment. Like when I was trying to find my half round. I'm like, where the heck's my half round? I'll find it later. But, it's just like, we do these things almost impulsively. Like we talk down to ourselves without even realizing it. And that's what I'm sharing, is that what we say to ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, all of that. Yes, Kathy, always praise yourself. Me, the first thing I get up in the morning, my hair's all out of whack, my hair's all fuzzy, beard's like sideways, like first thing I say is like, man, look how handsome I'm looking. It's just like, I have fun with it, just like, and even my daughter, when she gets up, her hair is like so thin and so straight that like when she wakes up, it's standing up like an afro. And every single time I just say, man, your hair's looking like it's having a party today. That's so fun. But it's that positivity shift that we're doing of, and last night was rough. Oh, I did not sleep well. It's like that little switch of, man, look at me. I'm just the way that I am, it's just, but talking to yourself in a positive light, laughing at your mistakes. Like truly, if you can laugh off your mistakes, the healing happens faster. You're not going to be traumatized by that mistake. You're not going to feel like, oh my gosh, everyone saw that. It's just like, when that, for me, when that happens, that feeling of, oh my gosh, everyone just saw that, they're gonna, and then immediately go to that round of, what are they gonna think about me? I'm just like, oh man, everyone just saw that. I'm so glad they were laughing because of my mishap. It's like, that is the shift that we take. Like, we all make mistakes. Like, own them. And have fun with it. Like, truly, presence and laughter, really. Laughter is the one thing that we can do to bring us present right here, right now. In order to actually laugh, you have to be in the exact moment. That's why they say with like inside jokes, you weren't get it, you weren't there. You're right, because there's an energy that's happening when all these jokes are happening. We're laughing. You wouldn't get it because you weren't there. That's so true. So happiness and presence, I think, are intertwined. And it's so beautiful when we can be in the moment like a child, literally likened unto a child. When we can convert all of our energy of we're dreaming big, going to the future, or worried about the past. We took all that and applied it into this now bubble. I'm living in my now here. Imagine how much more powerful your day becomes because you're right here. You're not worried about the past. You're not worried about the future. Sure, be aware of it in your peripheral. Be aware of it. Sure, it's there. But focus that energy here in the now, and you'll see that the healing in your body and your nervous system and your emotions and everything else in your world starts shifting pretty profoundly when you're right here in the now. And that's why it's so beautiful. I love being right here, right now, like a child. That 5D mindset, as Amelia likes to point out sometimes, it's like time goes so fast, and yet you feel like you're sitting still, and hours go by. It's just the most amazing experience. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. We're getting at 3 hours, and that's that. Been sharing my thoughts. So I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the chats and the conversations. Thank you for tuning in and saying hello and watch me create. But oh my gosh, this bracelet is so beautiful. Absolutely love it. Completely tuned. And I like these bead ones because what this does is allows the stone to sit right on your skin. So you're getting a direct connection to their frequency. And the designs have tensor coils so that it helps amplify the energy when you make the connection. You're making a connection. Boom. See the power in that? Metaphysics, we're actually doing it. So I love it all. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this message if you want. Like, I love it. But more importantly, love who you are, because you are amazing. Every little weird quirk, tick, whatever it is, you're amazing exactly how you are. Because what this looks like doesn't matter. This is an avatar. Okay? Yes, we can fix this. We can adjust this. But the real you isn't this, okay? It's really what's in the heart. It's in the mind. Love who you are. So have a wonderful day, guys. And thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Bye.